Well, thanks for agreeing to meet with me today. I hear you have some interesting news about some changes that have taken place. Why don't you tell me a little bit about them?
Okay. It's good to see you.
Thank you. It's nice to be back.
I am working as a Dean of Instruction at my school this year, which is sort of a new transitionary sort of project at our school. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm being responsible for all the instruction that goes on in the building, professional development, and all of our school initiatives. It was the first year we put this initiative into place, so it's been a struggle trying to roll this program out and get people on board with it, and then subscribing to the fidelity of the program. That's been a little bit challenging, but overall a good experience.
So, how would you grade the success of this first year of implementation?
I'd like to say A, but I'd say realistically probably a C. Not that I think that's bad necessarily. Actually, I think it's pretty good. I feel like I've accomplished something by getting in place the structure of the program. And that was my goal, was to get at least everyone aware of what was going on and let them know that it was going to be an ongoing initiative, and we were actually going to follow through with it for a 3-year period and monitor it and so forth. So while I say C in a good way.
So that it was, that you have met with some success with it, and how do teachers feel about it?
Well, I think they're a little bit still, I think they're still wondering if it's going to continue. If I'm going to come back next year and say, okay, now we're in year 2 of the 3-year plan. I think they're sort of waiting to see if that was going to happen. Didn't get a whole lot of positive response in the beginning. It was a lot of resistance, but I expected that. So I felt success for me would be that they were attempting to do something new, or attempting to ask the questions and clarify for information. So I consider that to be successful.
Well, so in retrospect, is there anything you think that you would have done differently in this first year of implementation?
Oh, sure, absolutely everything. Really, I think, on a serious note, I think I would have been more of a presence. I felt like I was a little bit loose in rolling out the program, like saying, here's the program, here's what we're supposed to do. And I didn't really, and I intentionally didn't, I wasn't really hardcore about the details. I was like, I thought to myself, if I could at least get them on board with the program, get the skeleton of what we're supposed to be doing on board, that I would consider that to be successful with a staff that was pretty well established and resistant to change. I thought little baby steps, and I feel like I got that. But in retrospect, I'm thinking maybe I should have been a little bit more hardcore, like, okay, here's the rules and we're going to follow them. You know, from tight to loose sort of approach, but I don't know. You know, 2020, so it's difficult to say.
And then how will you use that information going forward then for the second year?
Well, my plan is to have more accountability. You know, say, celebrate what we've done so far. We've done a great job. Here's how far we've gotten. Here's what we still have to do, and then put those structures in place that there's an awareness that someone's going to be looking and following up, not in a spying kind of way or stalking kind of way, but more in a supportive way. So I hope to make those 2 major changes for this year coming up.
Well, I've heard that some of the older, more experienced teachers are really against this initiative, and that they're actually planning on resisting and not following some of the guidelines. Have you heard the same thing? What's happening with that?
I haven't heard that necessarily, at least not directly, but I have a sense that might be occurring. I can feel it in the hallways when I go down certain hallways, and I feel like people are closing their doors when I'm coming. My approach to that is just going to be direct. It's not a choice. It's what we're doing. And to get people on board, I certainly can't force people to physically force them to do it, but I can be adamant that it needs to get done. And I think what's going to happen is either people are going to stay or they're going to go. And I'm thinking, if you're going to stay, then here's what you're going to have to do. Otherwise, that's going to filter itself out. I think that's how I'm thinking of approaching it.
And do you think there'll be more of that now that people will begin to see, oh, this really isn't something that's kind of just wasn't something for just this school year, but it's continuing?
More resistance, you mean? Do I think there'll be more resistance? Honestly, I don't think that. I think I'm going to have my couple of holdouts. I anticipate that. But really, my sense is that if the majority of people are going to go along with the program, everyone else is going to have to go along, either begrudgingly or they're not. I think they will too, probably with the most minimum effort that they can possibly get away with without being not disobedient but defiant. I think that's probably what's going to happen, and hopefully It's people in content areas that are not gonna kill us on the way we're monitored, or, you know, how our progress is being assessed. If it's people who are teaching things that are not gonna kill my AYP, then I'm gonna be okay with it. You know, I feel like I'm gonna win some battles, I'm gonna lose some battles.
Okay. And so, looking ahead, where do you see your school in 5 years?
I'd like to see my school in 5 years being a school that is child-centered, is student-centered. That includes this approach to learning, the PLC and collaboration, a truly collaborative environment that looks out for the benefit of the whole child, learning, taking into consideration that we're working with adolescents and not high school students or elementary school students. I think that's my overarching goal in my profession, is to work at reforming the middle school arena and changing the way we look at middle school students. So that's what I hope to see us in 5 years.
And is there anything else you'd like to add?
I'd like to experiment as much as I can in this realm. I feel like I have free reign to do what I want to do, and that includes staff development type issues, or teaching. This past year, I worked with the teachers in my building by doing professional development seminars and doing book studies and so forth. It's been pretty rewarding to me, and I'd like to continue in that role as well as coordinating PLCs in that sort of direction. And then, of course, I can always go for another job, being a principal, so may not be a goal.
Well, of course. Well, this sounds like a very exciting initiative, and I wish you much success.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for your time today.